So in our today's class, we'll be seeing about login page. That is your fourth task. And coming to the login page, so if you have completed your first task and second task, like we have seen in our first task that building a React application, basic React application. In that, we'll be seeing right by just typing two commands, that is npx create react app and npm start. So by using those two things, we'll be creating a React application and we'll be running that React application also. So what we'll be doing is we'll be modifying the same thing. Like you have to do that again, the first task, and we'll add few more files so that we'll be converting that particular application into login page. So we'll see with the code. First, let us start with the code, and after that, we'll also run that and I'll show you the output. Opening this file in the Visual Studio Code, and so you need MongoDB also for this, because for the sake of storing the data, that is whoever the users they are logged in, so you'll be storing the users data. So for that you have to also use MongoDB. I'll open MongoDB also meanwhile. You can install this MongoDB from the browser itself. So Visual Studio Code is taking some time, let us wait. So once that is opened, I will be first running the application. So that meanwhile we'll discuss about the code, and at the last we'll also see the output. So sign up is also included in this, but you no need to focus on the sign up. We'll only see the login page. Your task also is to build the login page. So basically, when we have done our first task, we have all these files, right, except these two things, app.js and mongo.js. Except these two files, all the remaining files you will be getting in the task one only. Once you completed that task one, what you can do is you can add these two files by just clicking on this one. You can just add new files here with the file name of whatever you want. So in that way, I have just added this app.js and mongo.js, these two files. In the app.js, I have a code of express.js, like how the connection is being established, that is presented inside this one for sign up and also login. But we'll see the login, and after that you can see mongo.js, in which we have created our MongoDB database. This is the mongo.js. Sorry. And what else we have added is, in src we have added a components folder. All the remaining things will be getting by first task itself. And here we have just added that home.js, login.js. Sign up you can just exclude that. Login and home, we'll discuss about these two files, and after that we'll also discuss about this app.js and mongo.js. Okay, is that okay? Is that clear to you?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
first let me run this. Take some time to execute. Meanwhile, we'll discuss about the code that is presented inside that. we have to wait for the path. So path of this folder, it will be displayed here. Once the path is displayed, what you can do is you can just type the command that I am showing, so that it gets executed. First you have to split the terminal into two halves, and towards one end what you have to do is you have to first run the back end for the sake of establishing the connection. Okay, so for that what you have to do is node on space app.js. I'm running this app.js file that is presented here. So nodemon app.js, click enter. If it is if all the things were going well, then you will be getting MongoDB connected and port connected. Once you get that, you can run your front end, that is React.js. So you can see port connected and MongoDB connected. And towards this, then you can run your front end, that is npm start. npm start, click enter. So it will be getting executed. This is how you have to execute this. I'm repeating this again. Like first you have to go to the three dots that are presented here. Go to the terminal, select the new terminal, and this gets opened. And once the path is displayed, you can just split the terminal into two halves, so that you can run backend in the first half, and you can run the front end in the another half. So first you are running the backend by using nodemon command followed by your backend file, whatever is your file name. So in my case it is app.js. I'm just giving app.js so that it gets executed. And towards this end, you have to type npm start to run your react.js. Okay, so is it okay to you up to now how to run this?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. And now we'll start with this app.js. No, first we'll start with this one. In the components folder, we are having login and home, right? We'll start about these two files, and once these two things are completed, so this is like basic HTML will be similar to this. We'll start from here app.js, because once it is executed, then it will be okay to you. First I'm going with this app.js. Here in the app.js you'll be having both sign up and login, both logic, but I'll be focusing on only login page. You can just see that. First of all, we are importing all the required things, like we are importing the express, we are importing the mongo is nothing but this mongo.js file. We are importing the cores to establish the connection between the front end and the database. And we are also using this express. We are just importing, right? To use, you have to use this one. And all these things also URL encoded for the sake of execution. All cores we are using that. So all these things we are just all up to here. It is just importing. And here you have to focus up to this part. You have to focus on these things for the sake of. Wait, let me show that. This is sign up, right? Okay, you can just focus on this thing. I have just minimized this. Okay, this one. Yeah, in the post we are just using asynchronous function. Okay, okay. So here in the post app.post we are using asynchronous function. Generally JavaScript, all these functions, they are like synchronous, one after the other. The code will be executed, but I'm making this to asynchronous so that I have to wait up to this one, like until I find the email, whatever the email I am giving. The next line of the code should not be executed for me. So that is the reason I'm just using async function. It will be followed by await. We'll be having await also. Async followed by await. And in the async you have request and response. We are just giving email and password in the body, that is in the backend. Sorry, in the output. And after that we are trying. See, here we will be having await. We are waiting up to we are finding the email, whatever the email that you are giving. You have to wait up to the email is found. So if user is presented, that means you are storing this one, right? If user is presented, then you are checking user dot password if it is matching with the password or not. If it is matching, the status is success. So into the JSON format, we are pushing success, or otherwise wrong password is pushed. And we have one more condition, that the user is not presented, you will have not exist. And at the last, if the connection is not established, then you will be getting fail. These are the four possible things. So by using this one, we will be again seeing all these things in the login. I'll be explaining you there. Like this is the status. This status will be pushing all this status into JSON file. Yeah, this is about sign up again. You can ignore. At the last, you can see this. In the app.listen, we are just giving a random port number 8001, 8002, anything you can take. And console.log port connected. That means if it is established, like 8001 port is connected, then in that case, I'm just displaying in the log. You can see port connected here, right? So this port connected is because of this one that we have written console.log. In the log, I'm just printing port connected. Okay. This is about the app.js.
Yes.
Okay. And what else we have? We have mongo.js. So here it is very simple. We are just connecting with a database, that is MongoDB. All of you can just mute yourself. So you can see this is the MongoDB. I'm just connecting anything you can connect here. I'm just connecting this one. So here you can see login, React login tutorial. So this one, this is our database inside which we are having collections. So this is our database in which we'll be having all the users data. So this is the users data. So if you see here, that is what we have done. So we are taking the URL. This is 27017 is the MongoDB port number. So in that we have React login tutorial. We are just connecting that, and you can see then and catch. It is similar to try and catch. If it is connected, then you'll be having MongoDB connected in the console. Otherwise, failed here. Sorry. And inside the schema, that is inside the database, you're having two things, email and password. Both are of type string, and both are of required fields. And you can also see this in the mongoose.model. Collection is our name in the database, and new schema is this one. We are creating here, right? This is new schema. You have to match these two things, and we are giving permissions for exports. That is the thing that we are doing here. Okay, is that okay to about this file?
Yes.
Okay. And now when you come to the design, you will be seeing login and home. In the log, see, anyway, I'm not taking any CSS files here. I'm just focusing on the establishment of the connection. You can also focus on that, or if you are interested, you can also add these things. Like you can add CSS and you can make it even more efficient. So here I'm using use navigate hook because I'm going to navigate between the pages. So I'm going from login page to home page, and so that is the reason I'm using use navigate here. And for email and password, I'm like for the password field and email field, you have to give the text, right? That should be presented there up to you click on login button. So for that you'll be using use state hook, and in the history we are storing this use navigate hook. And if you see this one, we are just connecting the establishment. Sorry, connection establishment is done here by using the same thing, async function. We are using an async function, and we are preventing the default. Prevent default is used for the sake of like, so generally I have told you, right? So one after the other all these things will be executed, but we are preventing that. So this is optional, you can use this or not. So you can see the event, it is there, no. So for that event I'm just using prevent default, and in the await I'm just writing fetch. Up to this one is fetch, that means this 8001 we are having this port, right? If this is failed and this will not be executed, so up to this port is connected, we have to wait. See, method is also post method, I have told that to you. And in the application JSON, we are storing all these things like failed, success, wrong password, all those things will be presented in this application JSON. We are stringify, like we are converting all those things into strings, like email and password, whatever the things that you are giving. We are converting that to string, and we are awaiting up to the response is presented, response you are getting from the JSON. And now we are comparing that response. If you see the result dot status is success, we are having all these things, we have pushed success, wrong password, not exist, all these things, right, into the JSON. We are checking with that. If the status is success, then we are using use navigate hook. I have stored use navigate hook in the history. So you are using this hook, and you will be moving to the home page by carrying the ID. You're carrying the email while you're traveling to, like while you're moving to the home page. So that is the reason in the state ID I have taken email. Or otherwise, if the status is wrong password, then you'll be getting an alert, a box of incorrect password. Or not exist, then you'll also get user not exist in the alert. Or otherwise an error occurred, you'll also be getting. And this is just design, you can see, for the sake of app, for the sake of button, labels, input fields, all these things are common, right? You see here, you can understand. So I'm talking about these two labels, these two input fields. You have a login button. So basically you'll be focusing on all those things here in the design part, in the written, all these things. You have submit form, and inside that you have a label for email, and you have an input field, all these things. Type is email, ID is email, so all these things for email. And yeah, if you have another label for the sake of password, and for all those things also you're having the password, set password, you're using use state hooks, right? So for that you have the set password and set email. And at the last you can see the button. And also we are having an anchor tag to move to the sign up page. If you want, you can use that also. And yeah, this is about the login. And coming to the home page, so home page, it is very simple. It will not have anything, like whatever. If you successfully logged in, then your email, whatever email that you are giving, will be carried to the home page. And in the home page you will be getting this one, hello, followed by your email and welcome. This thing you will be getting. So the same thing that we are doing. First we are importing the React, and we are also importing the use location hook here. Use navigate is there, no? In the similar way, use location hook. In the location we are saving the use location hook. And this is again the design. The h1 tag, you will be getting hello followed by location. So we are getting that one, right? So location dot state dot id and welcome. Whatever the email that you get from the login page, you will be getting that one here, and you'll be printing this one. So yeah, is that okay? Is it clear to you about this login and home page?
Yes.
Okay. And all the remaining files, by using the first task itself, you can create just by typing npx create react tab. You'll be getting all the files. To that files, you can just add these things. That's all. And now when we move to the output, so you can see the output here. So this is the output, right? First of all, let us see what are the things that are presented here in our table. You have this one, these two things. First one I'll use. Okay. So let me just give the same thing here. And I'll give the password. Click login. See, we have successfully logged in. So that is the reason we have moved to the home page. Okay. So this is how we are carrying the email also. This one, this email also. And now if I give something which is not presented, and some random password. If you log in, you'll get an alert box. User does not exist. And in the similar way, if you give correct username but wrong password, in that case you'll get wrong password. See, incorrect password. So all these things you can do. This is your task basically. And yeah, any other thing will not be possible. Like if you do something which is not presented, you will get all those errors. And yeah, is it clear to you up to this about this task?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So if you are having any doubts regarding this task, you can ask me.
No, no.
Okay. So okay then. So if you're having no doubts, then this is for today's class. So we'll meet in our next class with the task 5. Okay. Everything
Yes.
clear, right? Okay then. So if everything is clear, then you can just take leave so that I can understand that it is clear to you.